Well, hello there, my friend. Tell me, does this sound familiar? You wake up in the morning, swing your legs over the side of the bed, and suddenly feel like your knees or hips have turned into rusty hinges overnight. That stiffness creeps in, making you feel, well, older than you are. Maybe you've even caught yourself groaning when you stand up. I know I have. And here's what really bothers me. We often blame it just on getting older or arthritis and think, well, guess this is my life now. But what if I told you there are sneaky, hidden culprits behind that stiffness? Little things we do every single day, without even realizing, that are quietly sabotaging our joints? That's exactly what we're uncovering today. Because knowledge is power, especially when it comes to staying active, independent, and feeling good in this wonderful chapter of life. We're diving into 5 surprising causes of joint pain, things most doctors won't even mention during a quick checkup, and most importantly, simple, actionable fixes you can start today. No fancy equipment, no drastic overhauls. Just practical, gentle shifts that can make a world of difference. Ready to reclaim some of that smooth, easy movement? Let's get started. Now, the first hidden culprit might seem too simple, maybe even a little too obvious. But trust me, it's affecting millions of us over 60, and we often brush it aside. I'm talking about chronic, low-level dehydration. You see, as we get a little wiser in years, our sense of thirst naturally diminishes. It's not that we need less water, our joints absolutely rely on it. That cushiony cartilage between your bones? It's mostly water. Think of it like a sponge. When a sponge is dry, it's brittle, cracks easily, and doesn't absorb shock. But when it's nicely hydrated, it's plump, springy, and protects those bones beautifully. When we're even slightly dehydrated day after day, that sponge in our joints dries out. The result? More friction, more grinding, more of that awful stiffness, especially first thing in the morning or after sitting for a while. So, what's the fix? It's wonderfully straightforward, but let's make it doable. First, don't rely solely on thirst. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. Instead, make hydration a gentle rhythm in your day. Start your morning with a full glass of water. Keep it by your bedside the night before. Then, sip consistently. Aim for small amounts throughout the day rather than chugging large glasses, which can be hard on the system. Herbal teas like chamomile or ginger count too. And here's a little tip. Add a pinch of high-quality sea salt or a squeeze of lemon to your water. It helps your body actually absorb the water better, getting it where it's needed most, right into those thirsty joints. Try this for just 3 days, and notice if that morning creakiness starts to ease. It's like giving your joints an internal oil change. Alright, let's move to our second hidden culprit, and this one's a real stealth operator because it strikes while you're completely unaware, while you're sleeping. I'm talking about poor sleep posture. You spend roughly a third of your life in bed, right? If your spine, hips, or shoulders are out of alignment night after night, it's like gently bending a plastic spoon repeatedly. Eventually, it weakens and stresses. For us, that stress lands right in the joints. Maybe you're a dedicated side sleeper curled up tightly, or perhaps you love sleeping flat on your stomach. These positions can twist your spine, jam your hip joints, or strain your shoulders, leading to that familiar ache when you wake up. The fix here is all about gentle support and alignment. If you're a side sleeper, which many of us find comfiest, the key is keeping your spine straight from neck to hips. Place a firm pillow between your knees. This simple act keeps your hips stacked and aligned, taking pressure off the lower back and hip joints. It also prevents that top leg from dragging down and twisting your pelvis. Next, hug a pillow. Not just for comfort, but to support your top arm and shoulder, preventing it from collapsing forward and straining the joint. If you're a back sleeper, wonderful. Place a pillow under your knees, not too thick. This takes the pressure off your lower back and allows your hip joints to relax into a neutral position. And for your neck? Use a pillow that supports the natural curve. Your chin shouldn't be tucked down to your chest or pushed up towards the ceiling. It should be level, like you're standing with good posture. Now, if you absolutely love sleeping on your stomach, I know it's hard to change, but please try to transition. It's the toughest position on your neck and lower back. If you must, try placing a very thin pillow under your hips to reduce the arch in your back. The beautiful thing about these fixes? You can start tonight. You don't need expensive pillows. Use what you have. Rolled towels work perfectly as knee pillows. Give it a week. Your joints will thank you by feeling looser and less achy when that alarm goes off. Just these two changes, sipping water mindfully and adjusting how you sleep, can make a noticeable dent in that stubborn stiffness. They're small, yes, but that's where real power lies. Because when we tackle the hidden, everyday things, we build momentum. And momentum, my friend, is what carries us forward into feeling stronger and more vibrant. Now, let's keep uncovering these hidden stiffness triggers, because the next two we're about to explore might just surprise you even more. They're lurking in places you'd never expect. You know, it's fascinating how the smallest things we overlook can have the biggest impact on how we feel. That stiffness you've been blaming on just getting older? It's often whispering clues about these hidden habits. So let's uncover the next culprit, and this one might be walking right alongside you every single day. I'm talking about your shoes. That's right. Those comfy slippers you wear around the house? The worn-in sandals you love for errands? Or even those old loafers that feel like part of your feet? They could be quietly sabotaging your knees, hips, and back. Here's why: as we age, the natural fat pads cushioning our feet thin out. Our arches can collapse a bit, and our ankles might not be as stable. Worn-out shoes, floppy slippers, or flat sandals offer zero support. They let your feet roll inward. That's called overpronation, or shift unnaturally with every step. That misalignment travels right up your body, like a wobbly ladder, jarring your knees, twisting your hips, and straining your lower back. Suddenly, that mystery hip stiffness makes perfect sense. So here's your fix: become a shoe detective. First, check the soles of your favorite shoes. If they're worn down unevenly, smoother on the inside or outside edge, it's time to replace them. Next, look for three key features: a firm heel counter, that's the back of the shoe. It shouldn't collapse when you press it. Arch support, even a gentle bump makes a difference. And a wide toe box, so your toes aren't cramped. And please, ditch those floppy house slippers. Opt for supportive slip-ons with a rubber sole. Keep one pair by the bed, one by the door. Your joints will feel the difference within days. It's not about fancy orthotics, just smart, supportive choices. Think of it as building a stable foundation for your entire body. Now, let's talk about the fourth hidden culprit. This one's especially sneaky because it often masquerades as something good for us. I call it the sitting trap. We've all heard, rest is good for aching joints, right? Well, yes, but too much rest? That's where trouble starts. When we sit for hours, watching TV, reading, or even chatting on the phone, our joints aren't just still, they're starving. You see, joint cartilage doesn't have its own blood supply. It relies on movement to squish synovial fluid, that's nature's lubricant, in and out of the joint space. No movement? No lubrication. The fluid gets thick and sticky, like old honey. The result? More grinding, more stiffness, more pain when you finally stand up. And here's the cruel twist: the stiffer you feel, the less you want to move, trapping you in a cycle. The fix isn't about running marathons. It's about tiny, frequent movements that whisper to your joints, "Hey, I've got you." Set a timer for every 30 minutes when you're sitting. When it chimes, do just one of these. March softly in place for 30 seconds, even seated, lift those knees. Ankle circles, lift one foot, trace 5 slow circles clockwise, then counterclockwise. Shoulder rolls, lift your shoulders to your ears, roll them back, and down. Or simply stand up, stretch your arms overhead like you're picking an apple, and take 3 deep breaths. This isn't exercise, it's maintenance. Like oiling a hinge before it squeaks. Do this for 3 days, and notice how much easier it feels to rise from your chair. That heavy, stuck feeling? It starts to lift. Remember, motion is lotion for your joints. Now, before we move to our final, and perhaps most surprising, culprit, let me ask you, have you ever felt extra stiff after a long phone call? Or noticed your neck locking up while reading a book? That's no coincidence. We're about to connect the dots between something you do constantly and the ache in your shoulders, neck, and even your hands. It's all about gripping and clenching. We do it without thinking, clutching the steering wheel too tightly, death gripping a pen while writing, even clenching our jaws when concentrating. This constant tension sends a cascade of stress up your arms, into your neck and shoulders, tightening muscles like knots on a rope. And tight muscles? They pull joints out of alignment, compress nerves, and create that familiar ache. Ever wake up with stiff, swollen fingers? That could be from clenching your hands in your sleep or even resting your head on them. The fix is beautiful in its simplicity. Practice open hands. Throughout your day, pause and check. Are you gripping that grocery cart like it's going to run away? Loosen your hold. Typing or writing? Rest your fingers lightly, no white knuckles. Watching TV? Rest your palms face up on your lap, fingers softly curled. Notice your jaw clenched? Gently part your teeth, rest your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and exhale slowly. And here's a lovely evening ritual. Soak your hands in warm water for 5 minutes, then gently massage each finger from tip to palm. It's not just self-care, it's retraining your body to release. Within a week, you might notice less hand stiffness and even fewer tension headaches. See how these hidden habits creep into our days? But once you shine a light on them, they lose their power. You've already taken huge steps just by understanding these 4 culprits. But our final one? It's the silent accelerator of joint aging, and you'll never guess where it's hiding. Ready to uncover the last piece of the puzzle? Let's bring it all home. We've uncovered some real game changers together, haven't we? From the water we sip to the way we sleep, the shoes we wear, the gentle movements we weave into our day, and even how loosely we hold the steering wheel. These hidden habits, once invisible, are now in the light. And tackling them? It's like turning down the volume on that constant background hum of stiffness. But there's one last culprit, my friend. And this one? It's the silent mastermind pulling the strings behind the scenes. It's chronic, low-grade inflammation. Now, before you think, oh, inflammation, that's just swelling after an injury, hear me out. This is different. This is the quiet, simmering kind. The kind you don't necessarily feel as heat or see as redness, but it's there. It's like a tiny fire smoldering inside your joints, day after day, slowly irritating the tissues, making cartilage brittle, and amplifying every single ache we've talked about. And guess what fuels this fire more than anything else? The processed foods and sugary drinks we often reach for without a second thought. That bag of chips? The frozen dinner loaded with sodium? The sweetened cereal, the soda, the pastry with your coffee? They're packed with refined sugars, unhealthy fats, like those sneaky trans fats and too much omega-6, and refined white flour. When these hit your system, they trigger your body's alarm system. Your immune system sends out little soldiers called cytokines. Think of them as tiny firecrackers, meant to fight off real threats. But when there's no real threat, just a constant stream of these processed foods, those cytokines start bombarding your healthy tissues, especially your vulnerable joints. They make the synovial fluid, that precious joint lubricant, thick and gunky. They irritate the joint lining. Over time, this constant background noise of inflammation wears down your joints like sandpaper. That's why you might feel itchier after a weekend of indulging, or why stiffness seems stubbornly worse for no apparent reason. It's not just age, it's the fuel you're pouring on that internal fire. But here's the incredibly empowering part. The fix is delicious, satisfying, and profoundly healing. You literally fight fire with food. We're talking about embracing powerful, natural anti-inflammatory foods. Think of them as your internal fire brigade, calming the heat and soothing your joints from the inside out. Let's make this simple and utterly doable. Start by swapping just one inflammatory culprit for a powerful ally. Instead of that afternoon cookie or bag of chips, reach for a small handful of walnuts or almonds. They're packed with healthy fats and magnesium that directly combat inflammation. Instead of sugary soda or sweetened iced tea, try infused water. Drop a few slices of cucumber, a couple of strawberries, or a sprig of fresh mint into your glass. It's refreshing, hydrating, remember culprit number 1, and the berries add a dash of joint-loving antioxidants. Make color your guide at mealtime. Fill half your plate with deeply hued vegetables and fruits, nature's most potent anti-inflammatories. Berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries are absolute superstars. Dark leafy greens like spinach and kale? Powerhouses. Bright orange sweet potatoes and carrots? Packed with beta-carotene, which your body converts into inflammation-fighting vitamin A. Don't forget fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines. Even canned is fantastic. Aim for 2 servings a week. They're rich in omega-3 fatty acids, nature's most potent fire extinguishers for inflamed joints. And here's your secret weapon, extra virgin olive oil and turmeric. Drizzle that beautiful green olive oil generously on your salads and cooked veggies. Its oleocanthal works similarly to ibuprofen, but gently and nourishingly. And turmeric? That vibrant yellow spice contains curcumin, a legendary anti-inflammatory compound. Boost its absorption by adding a pinch of black pepper whenever you use it, in soups, stews, scrambled eggs, or even a warm golden milk latte before bed. Just warm milk, turmeric, a dash of cinnamon, ginger, and black pepper. Look at what we've uncovered, step by gentle step. 5 hidden culprits behind that frustrating stiffness, each with a simple, actionable fix you can start today. Hydrate smarter, sip water consistently, add lemon or salt. Sleep aligned, support your joints with pillows. Wear supportive shoes, be a shoe detective. Move mini movements, motion is lotion, every 30 minutes. Release the grip, practice open hands and relax your jaw. Douse the inflammation, swap processed foods for colorful, anti-inflammatory powerhouses. These aren't drastic overhauls. They're gentle course corrections. Small shifts in your daily rhythm that add up to profound changes in how you feel. You don't have to tackle all 5 at once. Pick one that resonates most strongly with you right now. Master that. Feel the difference, maybe less morning ache, easier rising from your chair, fingers that bend more freely. Let that success fuel you to gently add the next. Remember, your body is incredibly responsive. It wants to feel good. It wants to move with ease. By understanding these hidden triggers and making these simple, kind adjustments, you're giving it exactly what it needs to thrive. You're not just reducing stiffness, you're reclaiming your comfort, your independence, and the pure joy of moving through your day feeling strong and capable. I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. Which of these hidden culprits surprised you the most? Which fix are you excited to try first? Share your experiences, your tips. This community is all about supporting each other on this journey to vibrant living. If this video helped shine a light on your stiffness and gave you some hope and practical steps, please give it a thumbs up. It truly helps others find this valuable information. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. We're here every week with more warm conversations, practical tips, and empowering insights to help you live your absolute best, healthiest, and most joyful life after 60, 70, 80, and beyond. Here's to your strength, your wisdom, and to moving through your days with greater ease and comfort. You've got this. Until next time, my friend, be kind to your joints, and be kind to yourself.